Hi everyone, this is Samantha Wolfe. I'm a second grade teacher from Riverside Elementary School in Reading School District, coming to you with my erosion bottle activity. Tying it to the standards for the next gen science standards, using information from several sources to provide evidence that Earth events can occur quickly or slowly, and also comparing multiple solution designs to slow or prevent wind or water from changing the shape of the land. So when I set up my project, I had a few thoughts that had gone through my head. The one was the bottles that I was using were really round, so I was concerned that once I filled them, they would actually roll, but I found that the soil was heavy enough to keep them stationary so that they wouldn't move. I cut out the top of the one bottle and then used the piece that I had cut out to measure the other two bottles so they were all the same size. I also did not have a watering can, so I made my own out of one of my cups. I just poked holes in it so that I could water my grass seed, which did not grow. On the left is my grass seed bottle, the center is my leaves, and on the right is just my soil. This is the day that I planted my seed, and fortunately it did not grow. While experimenting, I went through a few different processes with my thoughts. One was that I was worried about them rolling, and found that they didn't need anything to stabilize. And I also have the cups. I was trying to figure out what I could use that I already had to kind of upcycle. So I already had some ribbon and I just used hot glue to glue them to the cups. I did have to buy the cups because I don't have anything like that in my house, and I don't use bottles that are throwaways. I use refillable bottles. So this is my experiment. Each of these bottles has actually 4 cups of water into it, and I found it very interesting because my grass didn't grow. It was the only bottle that actually had water erode from it. The other bottle that was just the plain soil, the soil expanded and it kind of absorbed the water, where my grass had already absorbed the soil had already absorbed the water from me watering the grass. And the leaves, I think, have trapped some of the water so that it couldn't get down to the soil. When I'm analyzing, I feel like in science, I plan and carried out my investigations. Same thing with engineering. Technology, I'm aware of technology systems and videos that I can use, and I can make sense of our problems and persevere in math, but I didn't have anything to really analyze or recognize. I am also teaching erosion in my classroom right now, and I'm working on getting better at STEM. So we did erosion bottles in a different way this week. So the first one is just chalk and rocks. So we used a water bottle that someone had, and we put about 10 pebbles in there and 2 complete pieces of chalk. And then I shook the bottle for 2 minutes. I did not have enough time for all of my students to do this on their own, so I did it in front of the class. They counted down and were really excited, and then they came up with their own explanations on what they thought the chalk looked like. So many of them told me it looked like baby Cheetos, and they were really surprised at how much powder was left. The following day, we did a little bit more of an experiment with water. So we did the same thing, the same pebbles, 2 sticks of chalk, and then about half a water bottle of water. And I shook it for 2 minutes, and they noticed that the water looks like Pepto-Bismol, but instead of being pink, it was yellow. They also noticed that there were chalk pieces in the bottom because of the sediment, and we talked about the vocabulary word sediment. They were really excited, and they could see that the chalk had foamed, so that was part of our discussion. Some other things that came up in my class today while I was teaching, there's first of all a link for erosion bottles and the way that they were supposed to be done, which is something that I was going to use in my classroom. Now, having done this experiment, once my grass grows, I will take this into my classroom so that my students can see and experience this. We just got a new water bottle filling station, so My students were asking where their water comes from and how their water gets cleaned and purified. So we started to discuss that today, and where our water comes from and how we purify it and all of the steps that go along with it. So I was really glad that they came to their own conclusion, and it was very much evidence-based, and my students came up with their own questions. I hope no one else had the same failures I did, but I learned from them and I will continue to grow. Have a good night.